Let's go.
Can you not cast a spell on me right now? Thank you.
We've all heard of top or bottom, but what about middle? Hi, I can't breathe, but you two seem really cool.
I can't do this anymore. I'm switching teams. Oh, hell yeah, brother.
One thing you should know about me is that I am never okay. I am simply existing because I guess we have to. But I look pretty while doing it.
Yeah. Oh wait, no. But where does this part go?
That's right. It goes in the square hole.
I was taking a look at some of my homosexual followers. Some of you guys are homosexy. Hi, my name is Jay, but if you're thick, you can call me tonight. You can...
I finally have voice effects, and I need to see how this sounds with my dog howling. Say it. Say it. Wow. Say it again. Wow. I've been adding a block of cheese to the fridge at work every day for the past month. So far, no one has said anything about the large accumulation of cheese.
It's wild how you'll have two cats and they'll have completely different personalities. Like, look how adorable this is. I did not put her under this blanket. She is just fucking cute like that. Then we got fucking Big Country over here. Hey, boy. What are you doing? What are you doing, dude?
Here comes the hurricane, bitch. 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 Oh! Katrina, Katrina, Katrina. Katrina, Katrina, Katrina. Katrina, Katrina, Katrina. Ow!
僕は日本人。え？僕は日本人。上司さんアメリカ人じゃないですか？アメリカ人だけど僕は日本人。意味がわかんないです。足は何本ですか？もちろん2本です。日本人。日本人。やべえ。
Fun facts about jellyfish. They are wet all the time. They don't have eyebrows. Have the attention span of an amoeba. They are never on time. Very bad at debates. Bad drivers. Can't tell when people are joking.
This here is Biscotti, aka Hiscotti. We've been receiving a number of complaints about Biscotti's behavior in the cat room. You're all, Biscotti bit my son, Biscotti scratched me, Biscotti embezzled money from me, and now I'm facing charges. So we thought we would brief you on how to treat Hiscotti. Approach her like a hippogriff. Bow. Locate that chunky little cinnamon roll noggin and start to scratch it. Oh yeah. No, not there. This concludes our presentation.
In 2012, Cinnamon Toast Crunch changed its recipe slightly. This affected the nutritional content to increase whole grains and decrease the amount of sugar and sodium. Thankfully for its fans, this change did not seem to noticeably affect the flavor. Or did it? Hi, my name is Adam, and I might be autistic.
This message is for Spotify. Spotify, what the fuck is this? According to Spotify, my #1 song this year is I Love Bread. Let me just play you this song.
I love bread. I love bread. Rye or sourdough. I want the world to know I love bread.
Yeah! Let's get French toasted in here! B-R-E-A-D! B-R-E-A-D!
Today I had somebody try to explain underboob sweat to me. She was like, oh, when you have boobs, like, it gets sweaty underneath and it's really uncomfortable. And I'm standing there like, you would not believe what I have on my body right now. And also that they're squished down in a squisher, which is making me produce probably about a gallon of underboob sweat per minute. But I couldn't explain myself because doing so would have meant that I was outing myself and mansplaining underboob sweat all in one sentence. And it's just like, we're not doing that.
Hi, I'm Mason and I'm conducting the safety audit on the Mines of Moria today. I sound like a broken record here, but I'm gonna keep saying it. Handrails, okay? Can we get some handrails? Do you guys have a permit for digging this deep? Yeah, I'm just asking because I couldn't help but notice there was a giant beast with wings, or not wings depending on your interpretation, with a giant flame whip that's been slumbering for the past millennia. Do you guys know anything about that? Are you aware of the goblin infestation that you have? I mean, you've probably been too busy looking at the ground, but they're all over the walls, they're coming out of the roof, they even have a cave troll. With the amount of health and safety violations we got here, this is no mine. It's a tomb.
Could we all just take a second and be extremely grateful that Mommy Don't Know That He's Getting Hurt came out after the death of Glee? Can you even imagine it? Will Schuster would have straight up committed a sex crime in public. I'm not going to lie to myself. I know I'm not strong enough to survive the scene that song would have produced and still keep all my mental faculties. I'd have gone full Sue Sylvester. Shut the whole Glee Club down. Forget the twerking scandal. I just saw this 45-year-old teacher impregnate a piano and then grind his crotch against the asses of several high schoolers, making them call him daddy. Like, even the knowledge that all the actors are in their 30s wouldn't have buffered against that wound. To this day, Matthew Morrison roams free despite his frequent crimes against public decency. I'll take any small victory I can get.
There is a serious shortage of masculine men in our culture. Society tells you that it's wrong to be strong, that it's wrong to be rebellious or courageous, that it's wrong to be proud of who you are. Well, men out there, if you're watching this, if you're not willing to do this kind of work, what kind of man are you? So what kind of men are on TikTok?
So I bought this new tunnel off Amazon from Mega and Major, and it came with different toys. And this one specific toy has Major going insane. Let me show you what I mean. She's going hair like, relax, relax, relax. I don't know what it is about it, but it makes her, okay, calm, sit. Go crazy on them. Careful, oh, whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh.
First of all, favorite type of apple? Hit me with it.
Red.
I said apple, not color.
The red ones, what are they?
All of them are red.
Do you know? No, they're not.
Except for yellow?
Except for the green ones and the yellow ones.
Okay, there are like 90 types of red apples. Pink Ladies, Gala, Macintosh, Red Delicious.
Red Delicious?
Yeah, those are apples.
Bro, do you think I know the species of red apples?
I would fucking think so.
Why? Did I grow up on an orchard?
No, you grew up eating apples, Joey.
Yeah, if someone puts an apple in front of me and I just eat it, I don't go, hey, what's this one's name?
You're a fucking idiot.
I buy bags of them, and it just says red apple.
No, guess what it says on them? It says the type of apple. Guess what you don't do?
Okay, Granny Smith.
There you go.
That's the only one I know.
There you go.
What color is that?
Red.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought that was green.
No. Oh, wait a sec.
Yeah, got you, bitch.
They might be green.
Some shapes are special. Squares can be arranged together to tile a flat plane, just like a checkerboard. You can also tile a flat plane with triangles or hexagons. But how about pentagons? 3 pentagons put together in a corner isn't enough to fill it, but 4 pentagons goes too far. But what we can do is put together 3 pentagons and create a sphere this way. But what if we tried to force 4 pentagons into a corner? What you get is neither a sphere nor a flat plane. In fact, it's pretty hard to visualize, so it's usually rendered like this in textbooks. Each corner has 4 pentagons meeting, and they get smaller as you get further from the center, but it only looks that way so it can fit on a screen. What would it really look like if the pentagons were the same size? Well, it would look like this. This is an example of a non-Euclidean surface. There are 4 pentagons meeting in each corner, and what we get is this very roughly surface that's very hard to flatten and even harder to iron, and I made a dress out of it.
You know, working in a grocery store, it's really exciting that sometimes I get to be the first person that a Martian talks to when they just land on planet Earth. But the other day, I'm ringing up this guy, and he says to me, "How do you keep the bananas fresh?" And I'm confused by this question, so I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he goes, "I don't know, it's like every time I buy the bananas, they turn brown." So I'm like, "Okay, well, how long are you keeping them for? Do you have them in the basket with other fruits?" And he goes, "No, I don't keep them in a basket. I just get home and I peel them and I leave them on the counter." So I said to him, "You know, you're not supposed to peel them until you eat them." And he goes, "Oh, huh. What planet are you from that you don't know how to work a banana?"
What was the top charting song on 9/11? Like the most popular song?
This is the perfect example of intelligence over wisdom. You have infinite access to this information. You can easily Google what was the top song on 9/11, but you don't have the wisdom or the experience to know that that is not the funny question. The funny question are what songs were banned on 9/12 in response to 9/11 by the corporate radio stations here in America. They banned 164 songs. You can find the list online. Just Google that, but you didn't know to Google that. So here's some of the songs that were banned. Billy Joel, Only the Good Die Young. They could not play that on 9/12. Bruce Springsteen, I'm on Fire. Absolutely not. All Rage Against the Machine songs, they said fuck the whole catalog. Foo Fighters, Learning to Fly. Huh? Elton John, Benny and the Jets. That's right, not on 9/12. Van Halen, Jump. No. Kansas, Dust in the Wind was still in the air in Manhattan, so they couldn't play it. Pat Benatar, Hit Me With Your Best Shot, and Sugar Ray Fly.
Hey best friends, I bought this CD at a thrift store yesterday called Jazz Wolf. It was a quarter, I could not get it. It has a description on the back that says, "As the mysterious howls of wolves in the moonlight blend with the contemporary jazz of guitar and saxophone, you'll think you were at a wilderness jazz club." Okay, I've not listened to this yet. I want to get my reaction. Okay, I got a saxophone. There's the jazz. There's the wolf. So that was the title track called Jazz Wolf. There was no band. Track 2, Rambling, has a band. Okay. This is the best quarter I've ever spent in my life.
I would love to. Get it? Because wood. Cool. First, we're going to oil up the equipment a little bit. This isn't even subtext. We literally just need to make sure that there's enough lubricant so that it can go in deeply, out smoothly, and back in. Speaking of taxes, let's go chop some wood. Alrighty. Wood. Gonna give it one more. Ah! great. You know what? Probably just rip it. Come on, baby. Oh, easy. Come on. Lovely.
For the first time, JWST has imaged the only other object in the entire solar system with a dense atmosphere and current seas and lakes and rivers on the surface. The object is Saturn's largest moon, Titan. And the photos are special because Titan's atmosphere is so dense and hazy that it's really hard to see through it to see features on the surface. But JWST photographs in a wavelength that allows us to see through the haze. Okay, I'm gonna show you the photo. That is a moon of Saturn. That looks a lot like Earth. What you're looking at right now is a giant sand dune, a methane lake, 2 clouds, and a mysterious glow. This is another view from JWST, and scientists were able to follow up and take more photos of the clouds from ground-based telescopes, and they were able to confirm that Titan has seasonal weather patterns, just like Earth. Astronomers are still trying to figure out exactly what this bright spot is, and if it could possibly be related to this vortex we've seen at the South Pole. And for fun, I'm going to show you a couple more exciting photos. This is Hubble's view of Titan. This is a composite image from a spacecraft flying really close. This is another composite image made from a bunch of close-up images. You can actually see the seams between the photos. And this is the only photo taken from the surface of Titan before the spacecraft lost power after only 90 minutes.
All right, today it's time to make a bowl. I need a bowl because my apple tree is ready for harvest, and did you know that improperly stored apples are the #1 cause of at-home injuries? Lucky for me, I have some nice apple wood here that's perfect for making a bowl to safely contain my apples and prevent any future apple-related woundings. So while we make our bowl, let's talk about apple trees. You might think of apples as a quintessential American fruit, but the truth is the apple tree originated in Central Asia. The wild ancestor that domesticated apple trees descended from, Malus sieversii, can still be found in the mountains of southern Kazakhstan, where it was cultivated and traded along the Silk Road, spreading throughout Eurasia and eventually making its way to the Americas in the 1600s. Now, if you take the seed from an apple and then grow a new tree from that seed, the apples that tree will produce tend to be very different from the ones from the parent tree. You could plant the tree from a super crispy and tart apple and end up with a new tree producing soft, sweet apples. So when horticulturists develop new cultivars of apples, the only way to ensure the new tree will grow more of those same apples is by grafting the desired cultivar onto the rootstock of the new tree. There are more than 7,500 known cultivars of apples, each with their own unique qualities, and the development of new cultivars is ever expanding. One more quick fun fact about apples: the phrase "an apple a day keeps the doctor away" has been traced back to 19th century Wales, where the original phrase was, "Eat an apple a day on going to bed and you'll keep the doctor from earning his bread." And while there's no evidence that eating an apple every day will keep your doctor destitute, having a nice apple bowl like this one sure might help. It turned out pretty great. Now we're ready to keep an apple, or a few, safe and secure. Enjoy your apples. You're the best. Okay, thanks. Bye.
So the men were rapists and also pedophiles, so I threw a big old rock at them and killed them all. 'Cause they were gay. So I'm gonna start over.
So I'm not gonna come on here and invalidate her feelings about what she wants to be called. I just lied, because that's exactly what I'm about to do, actually. And that's because I quite honestly can't think of a non-transphobic reason to be opposed to the term cis. I am a cis woman. I'm a black woman, a queer woman, a loud woman. These are all adjectives that describe the type of woman I am when it's relevant. Heavy on relevant, because let's be clear, nobody's walking up to random women in public going, "Hi, cis woman," which is another reason I have a hard time taking this concern seriously. Cis is only used when relevant, when we're trying to make a distinction between women that are trans and women that are not, because it's relevant to the discussion. And a lot of people in her comments are saying that during these discussions, we should just say women and trans women because biological women shouldn't need an identifier. Which lets me know that I'm right. This is about transphobia. Saying women and trans women directly implies that trans women are not women. I'm 5'10". If we were talking about height and I said, I don't want to be called a tall woman, just say women and short women, wouldn't I sound like Boo Boo the Fool? So are y'all offended by other adjectives too? Do you just never want to be labeled? Or do you oppose cis specifically because you want to just be women while trans women are considered the outcasts? Because that's what it's giving.
You guys, we can't tax rich people more, because what if one day you go on Survivor and then you do really well on Survivor and then you win Survivor and then you made yourself a fan favorite on this season of Survivor, so then Survivor invites you back for the next season, which is the Survivor All-Stars season, and then you do a bunch of blindsides and then you end up winning Survivor All-Stars, but you've made so many enemies in the process that at this point you became a villain in the Survivor franchise, so then Survivor invites you back for a third season, which is the Heroes versus Villains season, and then you end up redeeming yourself and then you win Survivor Heroes versus Villains. So at this point you've won Survivor 3 times and there's $1 million cash prize each time, and now at this point you're a C-tier celebrity. So then Dancing with the Stars invites you to go on Dancing with the Stars, and then you do it, but you rig the voting process so that you end up winning Dancing with the Stars, but then you're pissed because the cash prize of Dancing with the Stars goes to charity and not to you. And at this point you're pissed because you're rich and you don't care about poor people anymore. So then you're like, oh, I want more money. So then you make a deal with the devil and you go on Deal or No Deal, and then the devil tells you which case is the $1 million case, so you end up choosing the $1 million case and then you end up winning Deal or No Deal. And Howie Mandel is like, wow, we haven't had $1 million case winner in so long, so then they invite you back on Deal versus No Deal All-Stars edition, and then you, because you already have a deal with Satan, you get the $1 million case again, and now you have a bunch of $1 million, and then so then what are you gonna do then? We can't tax the rich, because what if that happens to you?
Capitalism is so gross. Get another venti caramel, half soy, no whip, pumpkin spice, peppermint mocha, sugar-free, full-fat, hold the fat latte.
The thing about capitalism is that we're all playing a game that we don't want to play, and you don't want to play it either. You just don't know it, because unless you're a billionaire, it's not working for you. In fact, it's working against you, and it's going to continue to work against you. So for me, I'm Gen X. I was able to get a job right out of school in my field. My employer actually paid for 100% of my health insurance, and I was able to buy my first home at 24. Now that little starter home is probably worth triple, maybe quadruple what I paid for it 20-something years ago. And the job that I got right out of school, I don't think it pays that much more. In fact, I know it doesn't, and that company does not pay for employees' health insurance anymore. So thanks to all of those advantages that I have, now that I'm an adult, I'm able to save and invest. And you may be thinking, well, you're investing in the stock market, you're a hypocrite. No, again, I'm playing a game that I don't want to play, because in this country, it's every man for himself, and I don't want to be a cancer diagnosis away from bankruptcy. Now, millennials and Gen Z, you all don't have that luxury, and so people cope with it differently. For some people, that looks like getting a Starbucks drink exactly the way they want it. And I don't know why people still make fun of people with smartphones when we all know that you have to have them because your employer expects you to be available 24/7. Or employers, because some people have to work multiple jobs to survive in this country. So my point is, it's possible to hate capitalism, participate in it, and want to change it all at the same time. And that's what most of us are doing. And so when you do these mashups and create these characters that don't really exist, it really undermines what the rest of us are trying to do, and it makes light of these things, like important issues that affect people and that will affect your children and your grandchildren, because this is not getting any better. But it's cool. We'll keep fighting for you.
Hello, and welcome to the first and probably not the last installation of something I like to call, What is my father trying to text me? What is he trying to say? Today we are decoding a text I got from him this morning. Let's get started. For a little bit of backstory, my father is an immigrant from Belarus, and we often speak in Russian to each other. Here we go. Starting off, here's the message I sent. One of the 2 things that hold my curtain rod up broke. It randomly broke when I was sliding my curtains on the rod, and the rod fell on my head. Pretty straightforward and to the point, all written in one language. Now let's see what my father has to say. My father starting off strong with the Russian alphabet, writing in English, but also using the Russian N as an H. So that, I believe, says, okay. Now we see more Russian characters. The Cyrillic alphabet, I believe, is the proper name for it. Those are English words, believe it or not. Those are not Russian words. They are not Russian words. But he wrote in English with Russian letters, and he wrote I fix it later, aka I fix it later. So like, because it's in Russian characters, my brain puts the accent on right away and tries to read it. So my brain reads that as I fix it later, but he's just trying to say that he'll fix it later. And the amount of effort that he might have, or must have had to... Anyways, my father is fluent in English and can type in English with no issue. So he's just doing this for fun. Thank you for coming to this episode. I am sure I'll make more of these.
Animals that I want to snuggle, but due to the nature of the animal, they will not let me. I have a big heart and an unbelievably large lack of self-preservation skills. Number one is the black-footed cat. Look at him. Despite its unbelievable cuteness and approachability, it's actually the #1 killer in all of cats. This thing is the #1 killer. What is that all about? It beats lions, it beats tigers, it beats my own cat that strictly knocks over my lights when I'm filming. So it is a remorseless serial killer, but also, look at its little feet. I'm gonna hug it. I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of this one, but it doesn't matter because you guys are gonna love it. The pygmy jerboa. It's almost not real. I'm sure it would not trust me to hold it at all. This thing is definitely prey to a lot of creatures. I mean, it's practically a chicken nugget with legs. But I just want it to stand in my palm. Right here. Just stand right there for me. I'm gonna put tree kangaroo on this list as well because I've never heard about it before today and it looks so goddamn stupid that I wanna love it forever. I'm assuming it's just a kangaroo that lives in a tree, but it looks fatter than a normal kangaroo, which makes it better in every circumstance. And it's got a big old nose, so that's like a 10 out of 10 on the cute animal scale. And this last one is so unbelievably cute that every photo I've seen of it, I just assume is Photoshopped to make it cuter. It's insane. The Japanese dwarf flying squirrel, and I want to reiterate that this actually exists. It's real. It looks this cute all the time. Every day it looks like this. Sometimes it's looking fat. Sometimes there's 3 of them in a tree. Doesn't matter. I love every single version of this animal. But it's a squirrel, so it's not gonna hang out with me at all. They're very fidgety. Look at this picture of this one poking its little head out though. I'm gonna find one. I'm gonna hold it. It's gonna be fantastic. If anyone can get me in contact with one of these squirrels, or just the nation of Japan, either one, it would help me out a lot.
Have you heard about this QAnon dating app?
Oh yeah, the one where they couldn't find any women to join?
Yeah, it's called I'm with Cupid.
And they couldn't find a single woman to join?
Is this a play on I'm with Stupid?
I heard they're offering women money to set up a profile.
Wait, what?
Look at this ad.
I'm with Cupid wants women. Please, are there any? $20 to sign up today.
Wow, what kind of a desperate person would join?
So I just signed up.
What?
$20? It's like a lot of money. It's like 20 times what I have.
No, I know $20 is a shit ton of money. I'm just saying it's the principle of the thing. You don't sign up for something like this.
Okay, my username is Cutie with a booty, but cutie is like with a Q for the cult.
Oh, I
with
hate you.
Q.
No, I got it. It's not funny, and I hate it, but I got it.
So showing that I'm crazy?
I'm hating all of it.
Okay, I'm making my bio, hi cucks. I'm really here for the $20.
No, they're gonna kick you off the app. You can't just tell them you're using them for money.
It's okay if they kick me off. I never put my name anywhere. I can just make a new profile.
Holy shit, we can make so many fake profiles
and get so many $20 it is.
We could get QAnon to give us all the money they would have given to, like, I don't know, like a Give Babies Guns campaign.
And no babies should have money because their hands are too small.
Do you think you have an eternal concussion?
Oh, I just made another account. The username is This Pussy is Classified.
Okay, no.
I don't like it.
Oh.
I read it out loud and I don't like it.
Did they give you another $20?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! We're basically Jeff Bezos and Jeff Bezos!
Can I be the second one?
Yeah, you can be the second Jeff Bezos.
Score! What is this dog? Did you see this dog come in?
Okay, I just made an account with the username Hillary Clinton was the meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs. I was there, I saw it.
All one word?
Yeah, and I already have 3 super likes.
Genius. That's actually genius, and I'm privileged to know you.
Who the fuck is even on this app?
Oh shit, I found my uncle Mateo.
Wait, I just matched with my uncle too!
Do they match you with your uncles on purpose, or is this whole app just made up of everyone's uncles?
Do you think there's like a setting where you can be matched with a family member and it's like automatically turned on?
Oh shit, I matched with my uncle's brother.
You mean your dad?
No, my other uncle. I'd love to match with my dad, then I could find where he's hiding and or kidnapped.
This whole app is just someone's uncle and someone's uncle. And...
It's like the Thanksgiving of apps.
Okay, I'm making 3 more accounts and then I'm quitting. Are you actually swiping through on this app?
No, I'm not being weird. I'm just trying to match with my uncle to see if he knows my father's last known whereabouts.
You could just text him.
Nah, he's blocked. He sends me so much QAnon shit.
My bike got stolen last week, so turns out crime is real and I'm a Republican now. But seriously, my bike did actually get stolen, and I want to use it as an opportunity to talk about the way that leftists, especially abolitionists, think about crime differently than mainstream liberals or conservatives. And I think an interesting way to do that is to ask who I should be mad at in this situation. Now, the mainstream answer to that question is going to be very simple. Who is responsible for crime? Well, obviously it's criminals. They're the ones doing the crime. They're the ones to blame. That is virtually always where the story stops. It's nice and succinct. It has clear bad guys. You can put a bow on it and fit it into the 5 o'clock news. It also ties really cleanly into larger narratives if you're trying to convince people to do things like buy more guns or support the police. And a critical piece of this very simplistic view of things is that some people are just inherently bad, that left to their own devices in a vacuum, they will do bad things. Now, personally, well, I think there's perhaps an interesting philosophical conversation to be had about whether it's fair to view anyone at any point in their life as plain and simple a bad person. I don't believe that anyone is inherently that way. And bringing it back to the context of my bike being stolen, I don't think that grabbing loose bikes off the street is something that anyone does from a place of privilege just for kicks. And this is where the leftist abolitionist view of crime is so much more useful, because it doesn't waste any time entertaining this childlike myth of inherently bad people. Instead, it focuses on the actual systemic issues that lead people to do these things. It does not matter how many cops you put on the street trying to intimidate people into not doing crime if the other end of the equation is hunger, housing insecurity, and a completely inhumane approach to mental health services. I loved that bike, and I am really sad that I lost it, but I don't want the person who took it to be punished. I want them to not be in a place where they are compelled to steal bikes in the first place. The abolitionist approach to crime eventually gets us to that place. Nothing else does.
I've been working on carving up this piece of a tree, and people are going absolutely ballistic in my comment section. I'd like to reiterate that we actually didn't cut down the tree. It came down after a season of record rainfall and was laying in our neighbor's yard for over a year until we asked a friend if he could get us a chunk of it. But I want to be honest with everyone that this house right here, this is made from trees that were cut down. Just like your house, see? It's made out of wood. Wood comes from trees. While it's true we tried to salvage as much as we could, like all the shingles for the siding that came from a burned down shingle factory, just like 92% of all the homes made in the United States, ours is mostly made out of wood. This piece of paper right here, this is also made out of trees. This floor that I'm sliding across, that's also made out of trees. The cutting board and the countertop, although we salvaged them from other places, those were once trees. See, when a tree falls on your house, it's not a good thing. It could cause a lot of damage and even hurt someone. One reason someone might cut down a tree is so that it doesn't fall on their house. Cutting down certain trees in second growth forests like this one allows more light in and encourages growth and competition in climax species. Sometimes people like me will cut down a tree that isn't alive but is looming over the path, ready to fall down any minute. See, if a tree were to fall on top of someone while they were walking on the path, that would be a really bad thing. It might cause a serious injury. Lots of people thought the tree I was carving looked healthy and didn't believe that it wasn't alive. But even a tree that hasn't been alive for years still looks pretty healthy on the inside when you first cut it. Lots of people cut down trees for firewood too. They use the firewood to heat their house and keep their families warm. If you need to rage, please direct it towards the logging companies that indiscriminately clear-cut land and don't replant, that don't sustainably or selectively harvest. But don't forget the role that you also play. I'm an environmentalist too, but you make us all look bad when you spout your ignorance and attack a random individual on the internet. Don't worry, we won't cut down all the trees. We love them and we love being surrounded by them. While you're scrolling, try to do more listening than speaking. And like I told my second grade students, you do that with your ears, not your mouth. Okay, love you. Bye.
A typical American walk signal will come on for only a few seconds, then turn to a flashing hand with a countdown timer showing how much time is left to cross the street. It's illegal to begin crossing if the countdown timer has started, and cities like Toronto are starting to enforce this rule at some intersections in order to speed up car traffic. This means that if you're not waiting at the intersection at just the right time to cross, you missed your chance and have to wait another light cycle. Crossing distances can be very, very long in North America as well, meaning that there's a very long time that a person walking is vulnerable in the intersection. This is particularly bad in many parts of the American South, like here in Las Vegas, because these places are designed almost exclusively to move as many cars as possible, not for the benefit of people outside of cars. Las Vegas is a horrible place to walk, but lots of people need to do it, and these people are left dealing with whatever scraps are left over after traffic engineers are done designing exclusively for cars. And even at traffic signals, there are times when pedestrian crossings aren't allowed in order to speed up car traffic. It's very telling that North American cities will spend millions of dollars on projects designed to speed up a driver's commute by a few minutes, but routinely make road changes that add to the time it takes to walk somewhere. This is also why you'll see another common problem crossing the street in the US and Canada. There are often very long distances between crossings because too many stoplights will slow down car traffic. For example, how are you supposed to get to this bus stop? And when you do get off a bus in many suburban places in America, it's a long walk to the nearest intersection. And finally, there are slip lanes like this one that allow drivers to turn right without a signal and without slowing down. These are extremely dangerous for people outside of cars and should never be used where people are expected to cross. They really highlight that North American traffic engineers value the convenience of the people who drive more than the lives of the people who walk. In a few cities, these are being removed to increase safety. There used to be one here on this corner, but it was filled in with a small stormwater management garden a few years ago. Now drivers need to make a much slower and safer sharp turn here.
Right, so this is one that comes up a lot. Apparently Egyptians built pyramids and they never took any mistakes and they just instantly figured out how to do it. This is a provably false narrative and we're going to show you right now why. It actually took Egyptians 1,000 years to go from what's called a mastaba to a true pyramid. Right, so as I said, behind me is a mastaba. Now, although they look nothing like a pyramid, these are an important piece of the puzzle, and you'll see why in the next slide. This one here is about 2,700 years old, but the Egyptians actually formalized this type of building by 3,100 BC, or 5,000 years ago. These rose to about 30 feet or 10 meters tall, and they were usually 4 times as wide as they were tall. She's thick. And just for reference, this is what they looked like inside. They had all these burial chambers. They were burial sites. Anyway, they were pretty happy with this design for about 500 years until 2650 BCE when Pharaoh Djoser comes along and he's like looking around and he says to his royal architect Imhotep, you know, these are cool, but what if we stack them on top of each other and each one gets smaller each time? That'd be pretty cool. Enter the Pyramid of Djoser at Saqqara. This bad boy was absolutely enormous when you consider that its 62.5 meter or 205 foot height is 6 times the height of its predecessors. Now this was originally clad in polished white limestone as well, which many pyramids were, and it has a number of underground chambers just like the mastabas too, and this is considered to be the first ever Egyptian pyramid. Not a true pyramid though, hold up. Now shortly after this, around 2600 BC, Snefru comes along, and this is a name you're going to want to remember because this is the dude. This dude puts in the work. You see, Snefru looked at the Pyramid of Djoser and he thought, that's a really great idea, but I don't really like these steps, so I'm going to try and build a straight pyramid. There is a little bit of uncertainty, but most people think that the Maidum is his first attempt at the pyramid, and this stood at 91 meters tall, or 300 feet tall, and it had a 51-degree angle, but it eventually collapsed. Determined to get it right, Snefru begins construction right away on 2 other pyramids, and he gets pretty damn close this time, but so this is what's called the bent pyramid for obvious reasons. Now we think what happened here is that he was building 2 pyramids with the same 54-degree angled walls and one collapsed. So this is actually an increase in the angle from his last attempt, but since this one here was halfway through, he decided to reduce the top angle to 43 degrees, which gives us this, you know, weird hat bit. But it worked, it's still standing, it's right there. Now this one is 104 meters or 344 feet tall, and it was the tallest structure ever built at the time. It also has a bunch of underground chambers and tunnels, just like its ancestors, the mastaba. But ever the perfectionist Snefru was not happy with this, so in 2590 he begins construction on the red pyramid at the angle of the top half of the bent pyramid of 43 degrees. The red pyramid is 104 meters or 347 feet tall and is the 3rd tallest pyramid in Egypt, and it's the first ever true pyramid built in Egypt, and it's the final resting place of Snefru, the pharaoh who pioneered the art of Egyptian pyramid building, and honestly I think he would have freaking loved that. Anyway, you think your kids are spoiled? This one, the Great Pyramid of Giza, the one everybody remembers, built by his son, stole all the knowledge. Thanks for the hard work, Dad. I'm gonna build a better one. Thanks, bye.